to see you, Missy. It's good to see
y'all
you.
too.
Yes, yes. You know we celebrating Cedric's birthday. This is a birthday party. Too.
Yeah, it's a party. Yeah. 61. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I
What's
see you,
going down, y'all?
It's all love. All love. All good.
Yes,
congratulations on y'all show.
Thank you.
Oh man, thank you so much, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Yeah,
it's an honor to have you on here.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think now we can say we've had the whole Bennett family on now.
We have we haven't had Paris on.
No,
we haven't had your daughter on
You
yet.
gotta get Paris.
Yeah, we got one more. Yeah, we gotta get Paris. We gotta get Paris. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Y'all ain't had Rubber Bennett on there. Y'all ain't had Rubber. Y'all had Trinine. Y'all had Trinine.
We had Trinine. Yep.
Oh yeah, we had Trinine.
Yeah,
we had Trinine. Yeah.
Did he bring Malcolm on? Did Malcolm come on?
Oh man, we should have had him bring him. Yeah. Man, that's a throwback, man. I used to watch that all the time, man. Wow.
Yes.
You sure should have. Well,
Excuse
man,
me,
y'all,
I'm in my office, so I don't have a really beautiful background right now.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Well, we gonna go and kick it off. This is Steve and Cedric talking to the band. I'm Steve. What's happening, Cedric?
I'm Cedric. How y'all doing? How y'all doing again? Yeah.
And we got Jamecia Bennett with us today, baby.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
The one and only, the boss chick.
The one and only. Yep.
What's up, y'all?
Missy, what's been happening with you, Missy? When you tell us you got a single out right now, just hit. You got a restaurant, a Jamaican restaurant.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
You got so much happening. Talk to us and tell us what's been going on since COVID.
Man, COVID. First of all, COVID showed me my strengths. I was once COVID hit, everybody was like, what am I gonna do? So I took all of that frustration, all of that what am I gonna do feeling, and I pushed forward. I ended up doing a partnership. It was a rum bar that was here that was actually closing, and it was kind of like on its last leg. A couple of my partners, Yoni, shouts out to Yoni and shouts out to Tommy. They had a Jamaican restaurant, but they also had a rum bar that was attached to it. And, it was hard balancing both. So they came to me and they asked me if I wanted to do a partnership with it. And I came in, and when I first walked in, I was like, oh, y'all gotta be kidding. I can't do that, baby. That's too much. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. But, I went home, of course, we're taught, go home and pray about it. And in my prayer, I saw being able to not only bring the bar back to life, but also make this place a house of refuge for young people to do open mics and to give them the actual music business 101, not just normal open mics, but be able to have people like yourself chime in on Zooms or chime in from afar to listen to young artists and give them critiquing them, and not just allowing them get up there, sing and then go, but listening to their tracks and saying, hey, Steve, what you think about that track? And say, hey, I think it needs a little bit more lows, needs some more highs, actually elevating them in the music business because they don't have an outlet. So I came back and told them like, hey, I'm in. So I went to, all the theaters were closed. So I went back to all of my theater friends, which were women, quote unquote. And I pulled all the carpenters from the Guthrie Theater, the place that I took you when you were here, Steve, the Guthrie, the beautiful place, the Guthrie, the Ordway, Park Square. Went there, got all the women that were out of work, that were carpenters, that made, that did all of our carpentry on stage, and gave them a job. And they came here and they renovated my whole place.
Wow.
And it was a blessing to be able to be a blessing, and for them to be able to bless us so that we can bless others. So it was just like blessings on top of blessings. It's levels to this. It's levels to this.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
did that. And then meantime, in between time, I was I ventured out into my blues journey. And I did a single called Holiday Blues, which was out. It came out on Christmas year before last, and then it came back out again. So this is one of those title tracks that can come out every year. So did that blues, and now I have I'm like 4 songs into my blues album. And then I was approached by Berlin and Germany and London by one of my friends that used to be in the Sounds of Blackness. He lives in London now, and he contacted me and said this producer just loves me and wants to work with me. So I was like, okay, cool. So got the track, brought it here, did the song. I timed myself to get songs out in the day. I write and get it out in the day. You know what I'm saying? Cedric, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Sent it, shot it back over to him, and like about a week later, he called me like, this company down here is going crazy, and they want to put your song out, and they want to do like a small little, just a small distribution deal with us to put my music out. And I was like, let me see the contract, and I want to look at the fine print,
yeah.
the little bitty letters, the ones that you got to look at.
Yeah.
Like, this is fantastic. At the end, like, I own your soul. Like, I'm not, So looked at, had my contract looked over, and it was amazing. 60-40. You know what I mean? You can't beat that coming out of an international release. And the song is just taking off. We put out a song that's called Do What You Want, and put that out. They did a lyric video to it. And now January 22nd, we are releasing the full video. So that's what's going on here.
It's a house track too, right? Yeah,
yes,
it's a house track.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be able to do all genres of music. I don't want to be in a box. I want to do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. Missy, you are really busy. How's the jerk chicken?
The jerk chicken. You know how my jerk is.
Right.
It was so funny because I love making jerk, Jamaican food. So it was so funny to be able to partner with these guys at a Jamaican restaurant. And it is amazing. We got goat, we got Jamaican goat, we sell oxtails, we got slow jerk roasted pork, we have of course jerk chicken, bone in, boneless.
Oh, wow.
Coconut beans and rice, plantains, coleslaw, beef patties, chicken patties. We got everything. So we're one of the authentic Jamaican restaurants here. We start cooking at 4:00 in the morning. All of our cooks are Jamaican,
Wow.
and we've been blessed to have some of our Latino guys to execute it. But our cooks are definitely Jamaican, and it's just been a blessing.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Wow.
Now, do you plan on touring that single in Europe at some point?
Yes, in Berlin for sure. Soon as this world opens up again and it is safe to travel and it's safe for us to be able to be on stage again, to sing to an audience, I definitely want to be able to do that. It's already in the works. They're already saying, they wish that it was available for us to do right now, but until then, we are definitely doing virtual stuff as much as possible to keep the excitement of the album going.
So will you be traveling with a full-piece band or full band? Will you be traveling with full band?
I guess we'll come to that once we get to that. For sure, they want that whole feel. Everybody wants that whole feel when when you're dealing with an artist that sings with a live band and don't need no special effects.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
It's a blessing to be able to have a mother like mine, to teach me not to be dependent on studio stuff, and to work with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for them to give me the 101 on being a real artist. So yeah, they do want that whole live feel. They see a lot of my on my Instagram and stuff. I post a lot with a live band, and that I don't even do track shows. So I think it is going to be mandatory for me to have a band when I go out.
Wow.
Wow. Well, your screen went off.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Somebody's calling.
Yeah.
People calling.
Oh, okay.
They don't call you until you're doing something.
Yeah, I know that's right. Yep.
Well, Misa, your work with Sounds of Blackness is well documented. We know a lot of what you've done. I know you just directed the video for Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, which was fantastic.
Thank you.
But I want to take you back a little bit. I want to go back to, the Jamecia with rodeo style.
Rodeo, yeah.
That was a jam, man.
That sure was.
I remember.
Sure was. I remember that.
That's what makes me. That's what gets me hot with this family. See, they go all the way up to the photo album,
Man, I remember that song.
Yeah.
GCI, WGCI.
Yep.
107.5 Chicago.
Yep.
Rodeo style Jamecia. Oh my God, it was awesome. Talk to us a little bit about, that time in your life and, how that all came about. And then we didn't hear any more after that. What happened after that? We want to know about that.
So what happened with that? Of course, I was signed when I was 18 years old. Actually, the shouts out to Dave McPherson and Toy Green. He actually flew to Minnesota. And I was actually signed when the radio, when the labels wanted you. Now these young artists, they want the label. So I was in the time where you have the A&R flew out to our home, had a meeting with my mom and dad and Tim in the living room, the old fashioned way.
Yeah, wow.
And told them that they wanted to sign me, and that, but the breaks was I needed to move to New York. And my mom was like, huh? Y'all can't come here. But it was a blessing. I moved. So I ended up moving to New York, moved to New York. And yes?
Your cousin Dennis out here, I told him you on the call.
Tell him I'll be right there. Okay, just have him have a seat. Sorry, guys. I'm at the restaurant. But I ended up moving there to New York, and they paid for your stay there. They gave you interviewing lessons. They gave you, a car to drive. They gave you, a big advance. I was in that area. But needless to say, me going there, it was hurtful for my mom, because I had been with my mom. You think about it, I grew up in the Sounds of Blackness. I was 15 years old when I started in Sounds of Blackness, and I have been, and y'all know how my mom is with me. I was my mom's baby. So to let me go, if you guys go to one of the Sounds of Blackness albums, my mom actually wrote a song about me leaving, and it's called Place in My Heart. That song was dedicated to me when I ended up moving to New York, because I ended up living in New York for 4 years working with Mercury Records, because they developed me as an artist. So I was there. I worked with producers, Chad Elliott, shout out. I was in the house, back then they had the houses. I was in the house with Missy Elliott, Jodeci. They would pass through there. Mary J. Blige was in and out. So I was in that house, that whole arena with them coming through these, because those producers down there everybody works with the same people. Herb Middleton, who also did my blues album. But I was signed with Billy Eckstein at Mercury Records, and he ended up passing away. So my album was all set, ready to go. I had just got Rodeo Style finished. So they put that out, and how Rodeo Style blew up, they put it on the Jason's Lyrics soundtrack. They put me on this soundtrack with LL Cool J, Jodeci, the Whitehead Brothers, Mint Condition, Brian McKnight, all these people. Put it out, sent it to radio, and radio was like, okay, we hear all of them, but who is this? Who is this girl right here? So by the time Mercury Records, they were asking who I was. They tried to hurry up and do these videos. I did actually 2 videos for that. They did one video. They did one video in Atlanta. I went to Atlanta, did this whole video with this guy. They sent it back to Mercury Records. They didn't like it. Then they sent me out to California, and I ended up shooting my next video at the Wilson family Picnic, which is a black rodeo where all the black cowboys from all over the world were there. I had never seen anything. It was the most amazing thing. If you guys have never been to anything like that, please go. And it was like all black people, all black cowboys. So you saw them roping the bulls and everything. They came in with their diamond studded boots and they had it going on. Okay.
Damn.
So I ended up shooting the video there. And so that was the video that actually got played on BET. So during that time, Billy Eckstine ended up passing away, and he passed the company on to Ed Eckstine, which was his son. And Ed Eckstine did not care nothing about no music, okay? He was like, it fell into his hands, and he was like, okay. And he ended up, letting this other gentleman by the name of Bruce Carbone, who had some other artists at the time, he ended up being gave him more creative control, and he dropped everybody that was with Dave Eckstine, which was myself, Joe, the singer Joe,
Wow.
Beanie Man, the Jamaican rapper,
Yep,
Beanie Man, Black Sheep. You remember Black Sheep?
Yep.
Dress, and those guys. Dropped them, and he put us, shelved us, and put all of his artists out that he was working with. And it was like, are you kidding me? And then so it was a mess. My album was ready to come out. So that's what happened at the very last minute. And so my dad went in, and Tim went in and kind of told them, hey, we need to pull her. This doesn't make any sense. Give us that contract back or whatever. We don't owe you anything. You have a shelf, blah, blah, blah. So it ended up working, but it actually worked in my favor, because soon as I stopped working, soon as that whole thing, I ended up coming back. And that's when I was day in and day out working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So that gives me my 16th platinum and gold albums on my wall, from Janet Jackson to Rod Stewart, Jonathan Butler, Prince, Sting, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, and Shaggy. I mean, I have, Usher. Wow. So I ended up, they brought me home because Terry Lewis was like, yeah, you back, but you're not getting ready to get in trouble, because he talks like, like how y'all talk to me, Yeah, we're going to bring you out here. We're going to bring you out here to the studio, and you're going to work. That's what you're going to do. You're going to work. So that's what I did, and they saved my life.
But Missy, tell us about, like, what was that like for you working with such legendary artists and, Luther Vandross?
Man. Wow, man.
Janet Jackson.
You were one of the few people that actually been on stage.
And being so young.
I was on the road for 6 months with Luther Vandross. And it was just like magic, because I was standing on the side of the stage and just watched this, like, his production was like something you would never imagine. Like, his production was, his production was before his time. You know what I mean? It's stuff that people do now. I just remember going into his wardrobe room. He never flew. He always, anywhere he went all over the world, he either rode on a bus or he rode in his limousine. He never flew. So all his wardrobe, he would have one wardrobe room, and it would be like 200 of those coats that he wears, those diamond.
Yeah.
Right.
So I remember he let me come in there, and I remember I put one on, and I couldn't walk. They weighed about at least 60 to 70 pounds a piece, because they were all crystal. They were all crystal. So when you saw him sweating like that, it's because he's carrying weight on top of the weight that he was. He was carrying like 50 to at least 70 pounds of jewels on him, and they were real. That's why they blinged and glistened like that. So, and I was on the road with Sinbad at the time. So it was a blessing to be able to be on the road with him, to be in the studio with Janet and have her get on the phone with my friends and talk to my friends on the phone. And they'd be like, that ain't Janet Jackson, man. You lying. I swear to God, it is Janet. She gonna phone like, hello. And like, it is Janet. They don't believe me. Like, it's Janet. Like, yeah, right. So, so being in the, just being in the room with these amazing people, Sherelle, last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Being in, like, to this day, when I go to Atlanta, like, she's like a real aunt. Like they, you know, I'll never grow up. I'm almost 50 years old. I'll never grow up being in the industry because of working with these people. And they just remember me when I was young, Mary from the SOS band, you know, all these, you know, all these people. I'm still going to be little Missy to them. I'll never, you know, you ain't made it yet. You ain't,
let me
you ain't going to grow up. Melba
you.
Moore, you know, they still call me La Ann, you know, so yeah, so it's just been a blessing all the way around to get, you know, just to be in the wings and to see how they do it. Like I follow them. I don't want to follow what's going on now.
I know that's right.
I want to follow the quality and the, you know, not the quantity. I want to follow the quality because it keeps you moving.
That brings me to the question: what is the difference now from when you started to now? What's the biggest difference in the music industry? What you see?
Selling yourself. We didn't have to sell ourselves as much as these young people now. I mean, there's no mystery to nothing anymore. I mean, even with the women, I mean, you look at some of the amazing divas from back in the day, they had beautiful gowns and beautiful faces. Their faces were beautiful and beautiful hair. And, you know, they gave you grace and elegance. And, you know, the divas of today, like, it's basically like they don't leave anything for mystery. Like it's all given. You know, I just had a conversation with talking about these young people now. You know, you see most of these young people that are in the industry, they've turned to drugs, they've turned to so much stuff. It's because, you know, back then it was, you know, I'm going to make this money. And when I get older, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this mansion. You know, you get these kids now, they're like 17 or 18, they get a mansion, they get a Ferrari, they get a Porsche, they get all the jewelry in the world, they get anything they want to do. So by the time they get like our age, they have nothing else left to do. Like there's no,
good
you know, so they're just, you know, so now they're reaching for stuff that is, you know, I want to talk about the drugs and whatever, but that considers the power now, the drugs and all that kind of stuff. Being in that arena is the next step after they've bought all the material things that they can possibly buy in life.
Wow.
So it's definitely different. Yeah.
Wow. I want to change up to your acting. You played Rosetta Thorpe.
Rosetta Tharpe.
Tharpe.
Yep.
Yeah. How was it playing her, and what did you learn from playing her?
Shouts out to, first of all, Park Square Theater for even giving me that opportunity. And also, let me add this. I made history here in the Twin Cities. I am the first African-American female and first woman to become the resident artist of the legendary Ordway Center of Performing Arts, which is one of the largest theaters here.
Wow.
So I did that last year. Yeah. And then because COVID happened, they just renegotiated my contract to do it for 2021 because they said they thought it was unfair for the 2020 thing to happen. But Rosetta Tharpe was an absolute... It was a channeling, humbling, educational, what you call it? It was real because all the stuff that my grandmother used to tell me back in the day, you know, they used to call grandma back in the day. They used to say her voice reminded them of Mahalia Jackson. Grandma's voice was big and strong. You know, and so when this script fell in my hands, I was reading about it, and I just remember the conversations I used to have with grandma about, you know, how music was back in the day with her, and Rosetta Tharpe's name that came up before. You know, Rosetta Tharpe, she died with an unmarked grave. They just gave her her props.
Wow.
The year
that happened to a lot of artists there. Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah. They just gave her props the year that I did that play, because they gave her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as the godmother of rock and roll. Elvis Presley and Chevy Chase and all of those guys, Elvis Presley, Cab Calloway, all of those guys would actually, they thought that BB King was the guy that started the steel guitar. Actually, she was.
Yeah.
So all these men would come and they would hear her play and they would steal her style. She didn't have a manager. She didn't have, people to set her apart. She just sang. So Elvis Presley, how it even came to a head for it to even be a Rosetta Tharpe show or people even having interest in her. She, someone found an interview of Elvis Presley asking, who was some of his favorite people, and he mentioned Rosetta Tharpe. They were like, that's a woman. He was like, yeah, like she's absolutely amazing. So people started researching that, and they said how he would come and be in the balcony, and it was like an area for white people that will come and listen to artists and stuff. And when they would love what they did, even if it was in church or whatever, they would throw pennies from the balcony. Like saying, tipping them.
Yeah.
And you ever heard that saying, pennies from heaven?
Yeah.
That's what they would consider pennies from heaven. When the white people would throw money, to the performers or whoever, that's where that saying comes from, pennies from heaven. So doing that show gave me so much education about not only about Rosetta Tharpe, but just the artists in general back then, just how they travel, how we travel on the road and go to different hotels. They couldn't do any of that. Funeral homes was like now when you travel and get a funeral home, you'd have made it. Because you could sleep in a coffin, you could sleep in a deluxe, cushion coffin. You got a piano in there, you can rehearse, you're gonna have food, you got some place to wash up, all of that. So funeral homes were like their best kept secret to be able to travel when they would go from place to place, or they'll sleep in somebody's basement or somebody's couch or on the bus, but they would risk their lives sleeping on the bus, because if the white people drive past, see them on the bus, they'll shoot the bus up or take them or do whatever they're going to do to them. So I just got so much, just that type of education from it. And then tapping into my blues, just Rosetta was just so cold, man. She sang this song called and Grave, Going to My Grave, and it was just breathtaking. And that when I heard that song, I knew this was the show that I wanted to do for sure.
Wow, that is fantastic, man. I heard one of your songs. It was a blues song you did. I think that's your latest one that you got out there. I was like, wow, man, this is different for me.
Yeah.
I said, but it was cool. I said, yeah, it was real cool there.
Thank you.
You are the CEO of Minnesota Movement. That's the name of your company.
Yes.
What advice would you have for younger artists today that's trying to break into the music industry?
Really taking the time to really see if this is what you want to do. The music business is not, it's expensive. You have to eat, sleep, and drink music if you're going to be over here. Like, I've never had a 9-to-5 job. I don't know. I've done music all of my life.
That's crazy.
I'm 3 Grammys in, working on my next one, couple of NAACP music awards, but it's not because I was 1 foot in and 1 foot out. This is what I do. My social media is music. My everything is music. Even involved in this restaurant, it's because of music, because I want to bring music to it. Everything about it is music. We get some of these young people that get their parents, say $10,000 into making them a star, and then all of a sudden they want to be a basketball player. Like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
You have to know that this is what you want. And when you know what you want, my company, Minnesota Movement, I teach artist development, and I teach young people how to take out the middleman so that they will understand what it takes to be an artist. You're gonna pay for your pictures, you're gonna pay for this, you're gonna pay for that, making them, but that way, when you do pay for that, you own your masters, teaching them how to own their masters, because it's so important. Your masters, and it's not just masters of music, it's masters of your own photos, your own, what I'm saying, your own name, getting, owning your name and all that kind of stuff. So that's my advice to them. Like, you got to eat, sleep, and drink it, and don't be tiptoeing and 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
What made you want to do this? What made you want to start it?
I've had Minnesota Movement since 2005, since my other restaurant that I had that you and that you and Ray came to, rest in peace, came to back in 2000, was that 2004?
Right, yes, right. Yes, that's around the time.
And that's the same thing that I was doing for them then. Because all of the legends here, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Prince, everybody is gone, and people were pretty much, kind of far-fetched from artists here being able to touch them and being intimate with them. So I felt like I needed to stand in the gap for them to be able to touch me and feel me and understand that it's possible to happen if they see me. I took 12 artists out on the road. I did an open mic tour with them. And I called all my friends in different cities, Iowa, Chicago, Milwaukee, all of my friends that were all the way, all around, and ones that were doing open mics. And what I did was I chartered up a tour, and we did an open mic tour. We started here. I got 2 vans, wrote them out an itinerary and the whole 9. And,
oh, wow.
So I had them perform at my at the restaurant. So I chose 12 people to go. So I had them perform like a month. So I chose the best of the best, chose 12, got them together, chose the 12, put them on the road. We left. We did our first show. So we went around. So I had flyers made. So when they got there, they saw they flyers up with their pictures and all of that. Wow. It was just at open mic events. But what we did was I called them, told them what I was doing. So we were special guests at their open mic event. So when they walked in, they had their name and lights, and so they feeling like
that was cool. That is
like
cool.
They on tour. You know what I mean? So like a couple people got left at the hotel because they wasn't downstairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making them know what it really is. Then they had to catch a cab to the venue. Like, man, I was coming downstairs, but you was late. We out.
Yeah.
So
right.
You'll be on time next time.
Yeah.
So teaching them that, teaching them how to dress, their wardrobe. They got a photo shoot. They had a photo shoot done. I made them get their product. I made them print off 50 copies of their CDs. So when we went to these cities, we had a table so that they could, sell their product. So I did that with them. And so that's what I'm planning on doing again this year, hopefully, or next year, depending on what this COVID chaos allows us to do. Yeah. But just giving that, even that small amount of thing. And I got these kids now that I worked with years ago in 2005, they still talk about that. And some of them are now moving forward in music, and it's just a blessing to be able to be a part of their journey and to have some type of positive, influence in their lives.
That is so cool, man. That is so
Thank
cool.
You. Thank you.
How do someone get in touch with your company?
They can definitely go on to my Instagram, Jamecia Bennett, or to my Minnesota Movement Instagram, or they can inbox me on Facebook. All of my social media, Twitter is Jamecia Bennett. It ain't cutie poo poo or tutu baby. None of that. It's simple, Jamecia Bennett. Inbox me on either one and get some information. I can let you know I have a consulting company as well, Jamecia Bennett Consulting as well with the Minnesota Movement. I do boot camps, do virtual boot camps, depending on the artist. I don't want to work with nobody that is not serious. Yeah, I don't have the mind span for somebody that's not serious, because we are moving. This world is moving. So nobody has time. I ain't got time to teach nobody how to sing.
I know that's right.
I can advance you if the talent is there. And I consult you and the talent is there, I will move forward. If it's not, I'll refer you to somebody else, but I want to work with people that are on the verge of being ready. And I see that star quality in them.
Man, that is so cool, man. We're so proud of you. So proud. Let me ask you a question. You still play drums?
Man, I play the drums. I definitely play drums. I definitely.
Really?
Let me tell you, Steve and Trinan was so mean to me when I was little, because I used to follow them around, and they'll give me a stick or something, give me some sticks and like send me out my way. No, I'm gonna play drums, and I'm gonna follow y'all around and sit on the side of the bench and be doing stuff and doing Cedric, get him.
Oh, man.
Steve, get him.
Oh,
do you remember that, Steve?
I told you. You had that I used to wear the little blue skirt and the patent leather shoes and a white top. Man, you be kicking them drums. Speezy be be kicking them drums, boy. That foot was going.
Wow.
Then they'll be nice and let me play some fast music, some church, you know, with a spirit in your house. You know? Man.
But you was getting it though. You was getting it. I had to give it to you. You was getting it.
But I do play drums. I also play timbales and I play congas, and I actually play them in my live shows as well.
Nice.
Yeah, She's good. Definitely good.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, so what about the band? I mean, you put this band together. I remember you came to Rockford for the Coronado. I mean, wow, you guys were jamming.
Thank you.
What's going on?
Yeah, we're moving out. We actually got a show February 14th. We're gonna do a Valentine's Day show here. So we're still together. J Movement. We're still together. You know, we're not Psalms 100 or nothing like that, but you got to know. You got to know the Lord. You got to. Jet had the hair like Prince. Yeah. The word of haircut sent the word. Y'all was
some good
the
time.
bomb, man.
Yep.
Y'all was the bomb.
Psalms 2000. Yeah.
For real.
Oh my goodness, man, Missy, this has been so good. Oh my God, it's been so good to talk to you.
It has. We're very proud of you.
Talk to y'all too.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. Keep it up.
Let me give y'all a tour. Let me give y'all a tour of my place.
Oh yeah. Do that.
Let me see. Let me give y'all a little tour.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And while you at it, give us a piece of chicken too.
Now you know I can do that.
Whoa. Nice. Got the stage here. Nice.
This is my cousin.
Hey.
He's here waiting on his food. I'm gonna zoom. Let's see. It's my stage.
Nice. Can you fit a live band on there?
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Minnesota Movement.
Yeah.
Let me see. My beautiful bartenders back here.
Yeah. I see you got some of that red wine back there.
Yes. They got a full bar.
Mm-hmm.
Rum bar.
Rum. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Beautiful.
Thank you. Yep. So that's it. That's all I got. This is my other baby. She can ready to have a baby. My other little bartender lady.
Congratulations. Nice.
Yes.
No, I'm getting ready to get off. Don't do me, cousin. See, I'm saying, and then your family come up in here. Okay, so that's it, guys.
Thank you so much, Missy. Thank you so much. Love you too.
Love you. Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Yep.
Love you. All right.
Okay.
Man, it's been another real show.
It's been another one, man. This has been a great show. Yeah.
Man, I want to thank everybody, first of all, for listening and being patient with us today. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
We apologize again for being a little bit late getting on, but thank you for sticking in there with us.
It was worth it.
You got anything else?
I have nothing else. I'm getting ready to celebrate my birthday.
Man, Cedric, happy birthday again. Love you, bruh.
Thank you. Love you too, man.
Man, and we will talk soon. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in to Stephen Cedric talking to the band.
Yep.
Till next time, we'll see you later.
Peace out.
Later, I'm out of here, baby.
Me too.